was so great that more people know about that than know about the book itself or about anything else I wrote. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be remembered for a scandal, you know, especially if you've spent your whole life trying to do something very difficult as well as you possibly can. I think, you know, scandals don't last. I mean, it's already fading away. It was a very loud noise, so it's taking a while to fade. But I do think that now people are finally reading the Satanic Verses as a book, you know, and not as some kind of, you know, cause célèbre, but as a novel. And you know, some people like it a lot, and some people don't like it much, and that's okay. You know, that's the ordinary life of a book. And this book was denied for a long time that ordinary life. And I'm happy to see that it's now has that life, and it will, you know, it will make its way or not. In the end, the book is out there in the world, and it's no longer up to me to help it on its way. But there's nothing I regret about it. I mean, as I said, I think the people who should be filled with regret are the people who behaved incredibly badly in 1989. Some of them are. I mean, there have been some statements lately by people who formerly were involved in protests against the book, who say they regret having done it, and that they were wrong to do it, and that they were actually wrong intellectually, you know, to ask for the censorship of books they didn't approve of, especially without reading them, which was the general case. I used to really mind that people who protested against the book had not read it. And then I thought, but you know, that's what always happens. I mean, if you look at the attacks on other books, it's also the case. I mean, when people accused James Joyce's Ulysses of being pornographic, it was obvious they had not read the book. Because, you know, Ulysses is many things, but its ability to arouse you sexually is probably not very great. So at that point I thought, well, it may be a part of the way in which books are attacked, that the people who attack them don't take the trouble to read them. You know, that made me feel better. I mean, I regret what happened because it got in the way of people reading books. You know, but I don't feel responsible for that. You know, I think if people commit acts of violence, they are responsible for the violence they commit. You know, but if you don't like me, it's your right to say so. But if you start trying to throw bombs and plant and commit acts of violence, that is an improper response to your not liking me, and it's excessive, and it's your fault. So it seems to me that it's clear that there are people who don't like me. I'm sorry to say. I would prefer it that everybody liked me, because I'm actually very nice. But given that there are people who don't like me, that's their prerogative. But it's not their prerogative to burn books, to throw stones, to firebomb bookstores, and to shoot publishers, to murder translators. That is not okay. That is not an appropriate response to a book, and it's their fault. So you should ask them if they feel regret, not me. Merci.